Have you ever laid there in the dark, eyes wide open, hour after hour, while the rest of the world seems to sleep just fine? You glance at the clock. It's 1:14 a.m. You close your eyes and try to focus on your breathing, count sheep, think of peaceful things, but your mind won't stop. And before you know it, it's 2:27. You turn your pillow to the cool side. You stretch your legs. You fluff the blanket. Still nothing. And you wonder, why is this happening to me? Why is it that the older you get, the harder it becomes to simply do something as natural as sleep? You used to sleep through thunderstorms. Now a creak in the hallway wakes you up like an alarm. Is this just aging? Is this just how it is now? Let me tell you something. It doesn't have to be. You see, sleep isn't just nice to have. It's your body's way of healing, of restoring your memory, your energy, your balance, and even your emotional strength. When you lose sleep, you're not just tired, you're forgetful, you're cranky, you lose motivation, and your body starts showing signs too. Aches, pains, slower healing, more confusion. And no, it's not just all in your head. Here's the thing no one tells you. The foods you eat, yes, the very things you put on your plate every day, can deeply affect the way you sleep at night. But not just any food. I'm talking about 4 natural everyday foods that have helped thousands of older adults just like you sleep longer, deeper, and more peacefully, sometimes for the first time in years. And it's not just about what you eat, it's also about when and how you eat these foods that makes all the difference. Stick with me because the third food on this list is something many seniors avoid, thinking it's bad for them. But in the right way, it might just be the secret to finally falling and staying asleep. So, grab a warm cup of tea, get cozy, and let's talk about how a few simple changes at the dinner table can change your nights completely. And hey, if you've been struggling to get good sleep lately, you are not alone. Comment "That's me" down below so we can all support each other. And if you're new here, welcome to Elderly Wisdom Insight, where we talk about the real stuff. Aging with grace, staying strong, and living with purpose. Hit that subscribe button if you're ready to start sleeping and living better. Now let's dive into the first sleep-boosting food you'll wish you knew about years ago. The first food that could truly change your nights: tart cherries. There's a woman named Eleanor, 74 years old, soft-spoken, still sharp as ever. She told me something simple, but it stuck with me. She said, "I didn't expect it to work. I just figured, why not try?" Every evening, right after dinner, she began drinking a small glass of tart cherry juice. Just 4 ounces, nothing fancy, not a supplement, just real juice cold from the fridge. And do you know what happened? Within 2 weeks, Eleanor said she started falling asleep faster. And more importantly, she stopped waking up 4 or 5 times a night like she used to. Now I know what you're thinking. Can something that simple really work? And it's a fair question. We've been told for years that sleep problems need pills or routines or more exercise. But sometimes nature quietly hands us the answers, and we've just stopped noticing. Tart cherries, especially Montmorency tart cherries, are one of the few foods that actually contain a natural form of melatonin. That's the hormone your brain makes to signal, "Hey, it's time to sleep." But as we age, our melatonin levels drop. That's part of why older adults often have fragmented, lighter sleep. So when you gently give your body a food source of melatonin, it listens. And it's not just melatonin. Tart cherries are also packed with antioxidants, especially a powerful one called anthocyanin, which helps reduce inflammation in the body. Why does that matter? Because when your body is inflamed, when your joints ache, when your digestion is unsettled, your nervous system can't fully relax. That low-grade stress, even if it's silent, can stop you from slipping into deep, healing sleep. Now here's the twist. Most people think cherries are just sugar bombs, sweet, sticky, not sleep food. But tart cherries, they're different. They're lower in natural sugar and they actually have a slight sour taste. That's the good stuff, That's where the melatonin and polyphenol hide. And no, you don't need to buy fancy powders or expensive extracts. Just head to your local store, look for 100% tart cherry juice, make sure it's unsweetened, or pick up some dried tart cherries as a snack. One small glass, about half a cup, 1 to 2 hours before bedtime is enough. You don't need to guzzle it, just sip it slowly. Let your body ease into the routine. Some even like to mix it with warm water to create a relaxing bedtime drink. The key is consistency, not quantity. You're not knocking yourself out. You're nudging your natural rhythm back into place. It's small. It's simple, but for someone like Eleanor, it was life-changing. Now, tart cherries can help you drift off. But what about those nights when you do fall asleep only to wake up again and again? That's where this next food comes in. Because sometimes the issue isn't just falling asleep, it's staying there. Let's talk about the tiny little seed that packs a serious punch. Pumpkin seeds. Let me tell you about Frank. Frank is a retired carpenter. Hands still strong, voice still full of stories. But night after night, sleep kept slipping through his fingers. He told me it was like my body forgot how to rest. He'd fall asleep fine, but then bam, he'd be awake. 1 a.m., 3 a.m., 4:30 a.m., like clockwork. Then one evening over a casual chat, a friend mentioned pumpkin seeds. Just a spoonful mixed into a bit of yogurt before bed. Nothing dramatic. Frank gave it a shot and something shifted. He didn't notice much on night 1, but by the end of the week he realized something strange had happened. He hadn't gotten up once in the middle of the night. For Frank, this tiny change gave him something precious: uninterrupted rest. Now let's talk about why pumpkin seeds can be so powerful, especially for older adults. Pumpkin seeds are rich in magnesium, a mineral most people don't even realize they're missing. And yet magnesium plays a major role in helping your muscles relax and your nervous system settle down. Think about how often your legs feel jumpy at night, or how your body just can't seem to shut off. That's often a magnesium issue, not just a random sleep quirk. But that's not all. Pumpkin seeds also contain tryptophan, an amino acid that your body uses to make serotonin, your feel-good hormone. Serotonin, in turn, helps your brain produce melatonin, the sleep hormone we talked about earlier. It's a beautiful chain reaction. Pumpkin seeds, tryptophan, serotonin, melatonin, then sleep. But here's the catch, and it's important. Many seniors skip seeds altogether, thinking they're hard to digest, especially late in the day. And it's true. Whole raw seeds can be a bit rough on the stomach if you're not used to them. But there's an easy fix. Just chew them well, or better yet, lightly roast them. That softens the outer shell and brings out a warm, nutty flavor. Even better, mix a tablespoon into some warm milk or yogurt. It turns into a calming, sleep-ready snack. 1 tablespoon is enough. You don't need a bowl full. Just a small, intentional serving as part of your evening wind-down routine. Simple, natural, and often overlooked. Now, tart cherries help you fall asleep. Pumpkin seeds help you stay asleep. But what if I told you there's a food that doesn't seem like a sleep aid at all? Something most people wouldn't even think of eating before bed. And yet, in many cultures around the world, it's a trusted remedy for restful nights. You might be surprised by this next one. Let's talk about the humble yet powerful kiwi fruit. Let me tell you about Maria. She's 81, proud grandmother of 6. She used to joke that bedtime was just the beginning of her toss-and-turn dance. Maria always believed that fruit was a morning thing, part of a light breakfast, never something you'd eat before bed. But her granddaughter, studying nutrition, suggested she try something different. 1 kiwi fruit about an hour before bedtime. Maria was skeptical, of course. Fruit before bed. "Won't that make me more awake?" she asked, but she gave it a try. And in just a few days, she felt calmer, less restless. Her usual 2 hours of lying in bed wide-eyed turned into 20 minutes. Eventually, even that melted away. Her insomnia, which had clung to her for years like an unwanted companion, softened. So, what is it about this fuzzy little fruit that works such quiet magic? Let's look at the science for a moment. Kiwi, especially the green variety, is incredibly rich in serotonin, the very same brain chemical that helps regulate mood, relax your mind, and prepare you for sleep. And the beauty of serotonin, it's also what your body uses to create melatonin, the master hormone that signals sleep. But kiwi doesn't stop there. It's also loaded with antioxidants like vitamin C and E that help reduce internal inflammation and oxidative stress, two hidden sleep disruptors that become more common as we age. In fact, clinical studies have shown that people who eat kiwi before bed not only fall asleep faster, but also sleep longer and more soundly. That means less tossing and turning and more of that deep healing sleep your body needs to repair and reset. Now let's clear up a common concern because you might be thinking it yourself. Isn't fruit before bed bad for blood sugar? A fair question, but here's the thing. Kiwi has a low glycemic index. That means it won't cause sharp spikes in your blood sugar like some other fruits might. It digests slowly, releasing its nutrients gently into your system. And because it's naturally high in fiber, it actually supports digestion while you sleep, not disrupt it. So, what's the best way to enjoy it? Keep it simple. One whole kiwi about an hour before you plan to sleep. You can scoop it with a spoon, eat it sliced, or even freeze the slices for a refreshing bedtime treat. Some people even eat the skin. Yes, really, because it's loaded with fiber. Just make sure to wash it well and slice thinly if you do. But don't overthink it. The point is to make it part of your rhythm, your nighttime cue, that it's time to slow down. Now, we've covered tart cherries, pumpkin seeds, and kiwi, each powerful in their own way. But the final food on our list, it might be the most comforting, the most familiar, and yet one of the most misunderstood when it comes to sleep. Let's talk about something warm, creamy, and often forgotten. A glass of milk. It's been whispered in homes for generations. Can't sleep? Try a glass of warm milk. But here's the thing. For Harold, age 79, the real magic wasn't just in the milk. It was in something most people overlook. A spice tucked quietly away in the back of the cupboard. Nutmeg. Harold used to struggle to unwind at night. His mind would race with memories. Aches would keep him shifting in bed, and he'd find himself checking the clock over and over again. One evening, his daughter made him a cup of warm milk with just a small pinch of nutmeg. He sipped it slowly, not expecting much. But that night, for the first time in weeks, he slept. And not just sleep, restful sleep. The kind where you wake up feeling like you've truly been at peace. Let's talk about why this works. Milk, whether it's dairy or a calcium-fortified plant-based version, contains tryptophan, the same amino acid we mentioned earlier. Tryptophan supports the production of serotonin and melatonin, both key players in helping your brain and body shift into rest mode. But it's the nutmeg that adds a special touch. Nutmeg contains a natural compound called myristicin. In small doses, this compound acts as a mild sedative, gently calming the nervous system, quieting overactive thoughts, and making it easier for your body to let go of the day. Now let's address something many older adults worry about. You might be thinking, won't milk before bed upset my stomach? Or, I thought dairy was heavy and hard to digest. That's a fair concern, but here's the truth. Warm milk, especially when sipped slowly and in moderation, can actually soothe the stomach. The warmth itself signals the body to relax. It's not a heavy meal, it's a gentle ritual, and if you prefer to avoid dairy altogether, no problem. Just choose a plant-based milk that's rich in calcium, like almond or oat milk. The calming effect comes from both the nutrients and the act of slowing down. Here's how to make it work for you. Heat 1 cup of milk enough to feel warm, not hot. Add just a pinch of ground nutmeg, no more than 1/8 of a teaspoon. Too much nutmeg can be overpowering, so keep it light. Sip it slowly, about 30 minutes before bed. Maybe put on soft music. Maybe dim the lights. You're not just feeding your body, you're preparing your mind for rest. Now imagine for a moment you've had your kiwi an hour before bed. You've sprinkled some pumpkin seeds into your evening snack. You've sipped your warm milk with nutmeg as the night settles in. This isn't just about food, it's about creating a nighttime ritual, a series of small natural choices that come together to tell your body it's time to rest. And when you make these gentle steps part of your evening routine, that's when the real magic happens. That's when sleep stops being a struggle and starts feeling like a gift again. Insomnia isn't just frustrating. It's not just about tossing and turning. It's about what it does to your spirit. The long nights that never seem to end. The silence that feels too loud. The weight of your thoughts as they spin in circles. And then morning comes, and instead of feeling rested, you feel drained. You go through the motions, coffee, breakfast, maybe a walk, but your energy feels half empty. Your patience runs thin, and somewhere deep down, you start to wonder, is this just how life is now? But let me say something very clearly. You are not alone. Many older adults quietly carry this burden, nodding off during the day, lying awake at night, and blaming themselves for something that is, in truth, deeply human. See, sleep isn't just a physical process. It's emotional. It's spiritual. It's where healing happens. And when it's missing, it leaves a mark. But here's the beautiful truth. Sleep doesn't have to slip away with age. It's not lost forever. It can be reclaimed not through pills or promises, but through care, patience, and a return to nature's rhythm. Because these 4 foods we've talked about today, they're more than ingredients. They're gentle signals to your body. You are safe. You are supported. It's okay to let go. Tart cherries quietly restore your melatonin. Pumpkin seeds calm your nerves. Kiwi lifts your serotonin gently. And warm milk with nutmeg whispers you into rest. It's not magic. It's wisdom. Ancient, simple, overlooked wisdom that still holds power today. So here's what I want you to do. Not next week, not someday, tonight. Pick just one of these foods. Just one. Prepare it gently and enjoy it mindfully. Make it part of your evening, part of your peace, and then listen to your body, to your breath, to the quiet softening of your mind. Keep a little notebook by your bed. Nothing fancy, just jot down how you feel when you wake up. Did you sleep deeper? Did you wake up fewer times? Did you dream? Track it for a week. Because here's the thing, you deserve to know what's possible. You deserve to feel hope. Restful sleep is possible. Even if you've gone months or years without it. Even if you've tried other things and felt disappointed. Even if a part of you still doubts, with the right care, the right rhythm, and a little patience, you can come home to your nights again. Not with a struggle, but with ease. Because you're not just trying to sleep. You're reclaiming something sacred. You're honoring your body. You're nurturing your nervous system. You're choosing rest, not just for your body, but for your heart, your memories, and your soul. So, tonight, may you sleep deeper. And tomorrow, may you wake lighter. And never forget, it's never too late to rest well. So, let's gently go over what we've learned today. We explored 4 powerful, sleep-friendly foods that can truly make a difference. 1. Tart cherries. Rich in natural melatonin, they help signal to your body that it's time to rest. 2. Pumpkin seeds. Full of magnesium and tryptophan, they calm your system and support a steady sleep rhythm. 3. Kiwi, a surprising hero loaded with serotonin and antioxidants to help you fall asleep and stay asleep. 4. Warm milk with a touch of nutmeg. A timeless soothing tradition that relaxes the body and mind, especially when sipped slowly and mindfully. Each one supports sleep in its own way, and together they can become part of a bedtime ritual that gently guides your body back to rest, night after night. Now I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever tried any of these before bed? Or maybe you have a nighttime food ritual of your own that helps you wind down. Share it with me in the comments below. You never know who you might help. Someone else might try your tip tonight and find the rest they've been longing for. And if sleep has been a struggle for you lately, if you felt that quiet frustration of lying awake, wondering why your body won't let go, then I hope this video brought you a little hope, a little direction, and a sense that healing is still possible. If this message helped you today or reminded you of someone in your life who needs better sleep, go ahead and click that like button. And if you haven't already, I warmly invite you to subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Insight. This channel is a soft place to land, a space where we explore how to age with strength, clarity, and peace of mind. Where we don't just talk about health, we talk about wholeness. Because your later years should be filled with comfort, dignity, and joy. So, thank you truly for spending this time with me. You deserve restful nights and joyful mornings. You deserve peace in your body and stillness in your spirit. Stay well, stay hopeful, and I'll see you in the next video right here on Elderly Wisdom Insight.